We've come a long way. 10 days of commitment. 10 days of saying no to the easy way out. We've fought the voice of procrastination and silenced it within 5 seconds. We've committed to a non-zero day, refusing to let a single sunrise pass without making a deposit. We've mastered the morning, taking back our first hour and using it as a fortress against the world's chaos. But now we're on day 10. And at day 10, something shifts. The challenge is no longer about the basics. The challenge is about the deep work. It's about the silent, invisible battle that nobody will ever see. It's about the fight that happens in the darkness when the world is asleep and you are tired and alone and you have a choice to make. I'm not talking about the external battles anymore. I'm talking about the final boss. I'm talking about the ultimate enemy. And that enemy is the silent killer called consistency. You see, a lot of people can be intense for a day. They can work hard, they can grind, they can stay up late and get up early and attack a goal with a savage fire in their soul for 24 hours. They can have a day 1 and a day 2, maybe even a day 5, and they feel good about themselves because they put in the work. But day 10, day 50, day 100, that's where the dream dies for most people. The fire starts to fade. The excuses start to creep back in. The comfort starts to look real good. And they go back to being ordinary. They fall back into the rhythm of mediocrity. The world is full of people who are masters of intensity, but they are failures at consistency. And I am telling you, consistency is the true currency of greatness. It is the fuel that takes a spark and turns it into an inferno that burns for a lifetime. I want you to see this. I want you to visualize a mountain climber. They don't just get to the summit in one intense leap. They take one step and then another and another, and they do it when they're tired, when the wind is howling, when they can't feel their hands and their feet are aching. They put one foot in front of the other. That is consistency. They are not waiting for the perfect day. They are not waiting for a burst of motivation. They are simply doing the work every single day, whether they feel like it or not. And it's those thousands of small, unglamorous steps that get them to the top of the world. And your journey, your dream, it's the same thing. It is not built on big, flashy moments of intensity. It is built on the quiet, relentless discipline of day after day after day. Now let's take this a step further. We've talked about what we need to add to our lives. The non-zero day, the morning routine. These are all deposits. These are all things we are putting into the bank of our future. But what about the things we need to remove? What about the things that are draining our energy, that are stealing our time, that are a constant leak in our focus? I'm talking about the ultimate act of discipline, the radical act of subtraction. You see, in a world that is constantly screaming at us to add more, to get more, to consume more, the greatest act of power is to intentionally take away. The world tells you to subscribe to more email lists, to follow more people on social media, to download more apps, to buy more things. It's a relentless, insidious game of addition, and it's designed to overwhelm you. It's designed to make you feel like you are never enough, like you always need more. But I'm here to tell you a simple truth. Your greatest strength is not what you add, it's what you subtract. Think about your mind as a beautiful, empty room. When you first wake up in the morning, that room is clean and ready, but throughout the day, every notification, every email, every mindless scroll, it's like throwing another piece of junk into that room. And before you know it, that beautiful empty space is a chaotic mess so cluttered that you can't even move, let alone create something magnificent. That is the truth of our modern lives. We are so busy collecting that we have no space left to build. We are so busy consuming that we have no energy left to create. The most powerful, most radical act of self-care is to clean out that room. It is to say no. And I want you to reframe what no means. We have been conditioned to think that no is a negative word, that it means we are missing out, that it means we are weak. But I want you to understand, no is the most powerful yes you will ever say. When you say no to a pointless meeting, you are saying yes to your priority. When you say no to a television show, you are saying yes to your dream. When you say no to a social media notification, you are saying yes to your focus. When you say no to 100 different things, you are saying yes to the one thing that truly, truly, truly matters, and that is your purpose. This is the great work of our lives. It is the work of finding the things that are essential and eliminating everything else. It is the work of simplifying our lives so that we have the mental clarity and the physical energy to focus on what truly moves the needle. It's not about being a hermit. It's about being deliberate. It's about being an architect of your own life, not a passive recipient of the world's noise. You have to decide what is serving my purpose, what is pushing me closer to my dream. And if the answer is nothing, then you have to be savage enough to let it go. Your time is your life. Your focus is your life. And you are allowing them to be stolen by 1,000 tiny thieves every single day. The pointless notifications, the endless scrolling, the toxic relationships, the commitments that you said yes to just to be nice. All of these things, they are not just taking up space. They are draining your life force. They are a constant leak in the bucket of your potential. You cannot keep pouring more water into a leaky bucket and expect it to fill up. You have to plug the holes first. You have to be radical enough to say, this is no longer serving me. So today, I want to give you a new challenge. It's not about adding something. It's about taking something away. I want you to look at your life and I want you to identify one thing, just one, that is a constant distraction, a constant drain on your energy. And I want you to eliminate it. Maybe it's a specific social media app you spend too much time on. Delete it for a week. Maybe it's a notification from a certain email list. Unsubscribe. Maybe it's a show you watch every night that leaves you feeling empty. Turn it off. It's a small intentional act of subtraction. It's a tiny declaration of sovereignty. It is you saying, I am in control here. My time is mine. My focus is mine, and I will not allow it to be stolen anymore. So here's the magic. This is the part that people don't see. This is the secret that separates the masters from the amateurs. It's the compound effect of all these small, consistent actions over time. We live in a world that is obsessed with the dramatic, overnight transformation. We see the final product, the six-pack abs, the seven-figure business, the published book, and we think it all happened in one brilliant, intense moment. But that is a lie. That is a myth created by social media. The truth is, the magic is in the monotony. The power is in the boring day after day work. Think about a savings account. If you deposit just $1 a day for a year, you have $365. That's good. But if you keep doing that for 10 years and you add in the power of compounding interest, your money doesn't just add up. It starts to grow exponentially. Your money starts working for you. Your small, consistent action starts to build a massive fortress of wealth that you couldn't have imagined on day one. And your life, your purpose, your skills, your dreams, they work the exact same way. Every day you write just one page of a book. It doesn't feel like much. Every day you do one single push-up. It doesn't feel like much. Every day you practice your instrument for 15 minutes. It doesn't feel like much. The immediate result is invisible. It's unglamorous. It's a whisper in the wind. And because we are conditioned to want immediate gratification, we quit. We say, this isn't working. We say, I'm not getting better. But what you can't see is the silent, powerful engine of compounding working for you behind the scenes. That one page a day is a book in a year. That one push-up a day is a transformation in your body. That 15 minutes of practice a day is a mastery of your craft. And what happens when you combine this with the power of subtraction? When you take away the distractions, you don't just add 15 minutes of practice. You add 15 minutes of focused practice. You add an hour of undistracted reading. You add a deep, powerful period of creative work that is not interrupted by a single notification, by a single email, by a single pointless thought. That is the alchemy of greatness. That is the secret. It's the combination of relentless consistency and radical subtraction that creates an unstoppable force. So stop waiting for the big moment. Stop waiting for the burst of motivation. Stop waiting for the perfect feeling. The perfect moment is now. The perfect feeling is the feeling of doing the work, the feeling of making a deposit, no matter how small. And I am telling you, if you do this, if you commit to this, if you decide that you are going to be a master of the mundane and a master of subtraction, your life will start to change in ways that you cannot even begin to comprehend. You will look back in 6 months and you will be unrecognizable to the person you are right now. You will have built a foundation so strong, so powerful, so unshakable that you will be ready for any opportunity that comes your way. This is the great work of our lives. It is the work of finding the things that are essential and eliminating everything else. It is the work of simplifying our lives so that we have the mental clarity and the physical energy to focus on what truly moves the needle. It's not about being a hermit. It's about being deliberate. It's about being an architect of your own life, not a passive recipient of the world's noise. You have to decide what is serving my purpose, what is pushing me closer to my dream. And if the answer is nothing, then you have to be savage enough to let it go. Your time is your life. Your focus is your life. And you are allowing them to be stolen by 1,000 tiny thieves every single day. The pointless notifications, the endless scrolling, the toxic relationships, the commitments that you said yes to just to be nice. All of these things, they are not just taking up space. They are draining your life force. They are a constant leak in the bucket of your potential. You cannot keep pouring more water into a leaky bucket and expect it to fill up. You have to plug the holes first. You have to be radical enough to say, this is no longer serving me. So today, I want to give you a new challenge. It's not about adding something. It's about taking something away. I want you to look at your life and I want you to identify one thing, just one, that is a constant distraction, a constant drain on your energy, and I want you to eliminate it. Maybe it's a specific social media app you spend too much time on. Delete it for a week. Maybe it's a notification from a certain email list. Unsubscribe. Maybe it's a show you watch every night that leaves you feeling empty. Turn it off. It's a small, intentional act of subtraction. It's a tiny declaration of sovereignty. It is you saying, I am in control here. My time is mine. My focus is mine, and I will not allow it to be stolen anymore. This is the ultimate test of your commitment because it's harder to let go than it is to hold on. It's harder to walk away from a habit than it is to start a new one. But I am telling you, the most powerful progress you will ever make in your life will not come from a new habit. It will come from the radical, courageous act of eliminating a bad one. It will come from the moment you decide to simplify, to declutter, to get real with yourself about what is truly, truly important. And when you do that, when you free up all that wasted energy, all that wasted focus, you will find that the path to your destiny is so much clearer, so much brighter, so much more powerful. Let's talk about the mind. The human mind is a battlefield, and the most dangerous enemy is not procrastination. It's the silent whispers of self-doubt. The voice that says, what's the point? It's not going to work anyway. You've tried before. You're not smart enough. You're not good enough. Procrastination is the younger brother, the one who just wants you to watch TV for a little bit. Self-doubt is the master, the one who wants you to quit the game entirely. And the only way to kill that voice is with a steady stream of consistent action. Every time you show up and do the work, even for 5 minutes, you are punching that voice in the face. You are proving it wrong. You are building an undeniable, unshakable pile of evidence that says, I am a person who gets things done. I am a person who keeps my promises to myself. The person who you want to become, the person with the dream life, with the incredible career, with the healthy body and the loving family, that person is not a different person. They are just the version of you who committed to consistency and never, ever, ever, ever stopped. They are the version of you who decided that every single day they were going to make a deposit into their future. They decided that they would not let a single day pass without moving forward, even just a little. And that's the beautiful, radical power of the non-zero day. When you do that day after day after day, the momentum becomes so powerful. It's like a freight train. You can't stop it even if you wanted to. It will just keep on going towards your destiny. So today, day 10 is the day you make a sacred vow to yourself. You are not just making a commitment for today. You are making a commitment for life. You are saying, I am a person of consistency. I am a person of discipline. I am a person who builds foundations. I am a person who does the hidden work. I am a person who loves the grind. I am a person who will never, ever, ever, ever stop. That is your new identity. You are not a person who tries to be consistent. You are a consistent person, and the two are worlds apart. The first one is a wish. The second one is a reality. And listen to me, I know some of you are tired. I know some of you are feeling overwhelmed. That's okay. I am not telling you to be perfect. Perfection is a myth that keeps people from starting. The goal is progress, not perfection. And progress, that's just one small step. So maybe today your consistency isn't about working for 4 hours. Maybe today it's about working for 10 minutes. Maybe it's just about opening the laptop and looking at the first page. Maybe it's just about doing one single push-up. The size of the step doesn't matter. The fact that you took it does. This is the power of the non-zero day on a whole new level. It's not just a way to avoid procrastination. It's a way to build a legacy. It's a way to build a life of significance. And it all comes down to your ability to show up day after day. You've already done it for 9 days. You are already a different person than you were 9 days ago. Your mind is already a different battlefield. You already have a taste of what victory feels like. So now the only thing left to do is to keep going. The only thing left to do is to keep showing up. The only thing left to do is to prove to yourself that this is not just a phase, it is a new way of life. The world is full of people who are waiting for the perfect moment. They are waiting for the motivation. They are waiting for the right feeling. And they wait and they wait and they wait and their lives pass them by. Don't be that person. Be the person who creates the moment. Be the person who creates the feeling. Be the person who says, my actions will dictate my feelings, not the other way around. That is the mindset of a champion. That is the mindset of a person who is destined for greatness. That is the mindset of a person who understands the true, radical, life-changing power of consistency. But let me ask you a question. When you are building this fortress of consistency, when you are plugging the holes in your bucket, when you are clearing the clutter from your mind, what are you doing to guard the gates? So the world is not just filled with distractions, it is filled with drains. It is filled with people and situations and information that will actively pull your energy down. I'm talking about the external battlefield. I'm talking about the silent, insidious forces that steal your power and leave you exhausted and defeated before you even start the day. You see, your energy is your life's most precious resource, more valuable than time, more valuable than money. You can't get it back when it's gone. It's gone. And if you are not deliberate about protecting it, the world will take it from you piece by piece until you are running on empty. And a person with no energy cannot be consistent. They cannot build. They cannot create. They can only survive. So now you must become the guardian of your gate. First, let's talk about the gate of your relationships. Look at the people in your life. Are they adding to your energy or are they subtracting from it? Are you surrounded by cheerleaders who lift you up and believe in your potential? Or are you surrounded by energy vampires who complain, who criticize, and who constantly remind you of everything that is wrong with the world? I'm not saying you have to cut everyone off. I'm saying you have to be deliberate. You have to be intentional. You have to choose who gets to have a front row seat to your journey. You have to decide who you are giving your limited, precious energy to. The people you spend the most time with will determine your future. So choose wisely. Because you cannot be a person of consistent positive action if you are constantly cleaning up the emotional mess of others. You have to be a person who says, my energy is sacred and I will only share it with those who respect it. Second, let's talk about the gate of your information. Every day we are bombarded with a relentless stream of news, of social media feeds, of opinions, and of outrage. And most of it is designed to trigger your emotional response. It's designed to make you feel anxious, angry, and afraid. And why? Because those emotions are profitable. They keep you scrolling. They keep you consuming. But every time you engage with that negativity, it's like 1,000 little paper cuts to your soul. It's not just wasting your time. It's draining your life force. You are using your mental energy on things that have absolutely no bearing on your life or your purpose. The consistent person understands that their mind is a garden. And a garden can either be filled with beautiful flowers and nourishing fruits, or it can be a breeding ground for weeds. You cannot allow just any information to come into your garden. You must be the gardener. You must be the one who decides what gets to grow and what gets to be pulled out. And finally, let's talk about the gate of your physical space. Look at your environment. Is it a place that inspires you, or is it a place that stresses you out? A cluttered desk leads to a cluttered mind. A disorganized room creates a sense of chaos. Your physical space is a mirror of your inner state. You cannot expect to have a clear, focused, consistent mind if you are surrounded by visual noise. This goes back to the power of subtraction. When you simplify your environment, you simplify your mind. When you create a clean, intentional space, you create a sanctuary for your creativity and your focus. It's not just about cleaning, it's about building a fortress around your work. A place where you can be alone with your thoughts and your actions. A place where you can truly focus on what matters. This is the deeper layer of the work. This is the truth that separates those who succeed from those who just try. It's not enough to be consistent. You have to be consistent in a way that is sustainable. And you cannot sustain a life of consistent action if you are constantly being drained by external forces. You have to become a fighter, a guardian, a protector of your own peace. And you do that by being intentional with your relationships, with your information, and with your environment. The people who you look up to, the people who are at the top of their game, they aren't just working hard. They are protecting hard. They are relentlessly intentional about who they allow into their circle, what they allow into their minds, and what they allow to exist in their space. They understand that their energy is the fuel that powers their dream, and they will not allow anyone or anything to steal it from them. This is what day 10 is about. It's about looking at your foundation and not just making it bigger, but making it stronger by removing the things that are actively trying to tear it down. So today, you are not just a person of consistency. You are a person of intentional subtraction. You are a person who understands that sometimes the most powerful step forward is to take a step back and let go of the things that are holding you down. That is the truth. That is the way of the champion. Now go out there and be free and go get it done. Let's go. So what does your foundation look like? Is it solid or is it full of holes? Is it made of the consistent, unglamorous work of yesterday and the day before that and the day before that? Or is it built on a single intense burst of energy that fizzles out as soon as the feeling is gone? I'm telling you, the people who win, the people who truly change their lives and change the world, they are masters of the mundane. They understand that greatness is not an event. It is a process. It is a series of small, intentional acts done repeatedly over a long period of time. This is the hard truth that nobody wants to hear. We all want the quick fix. We want the overnight success. We want the magic pill that will make our dreams come true without the daily grind. But that pill doesn't exist. That overnight success took 10 years of hidden work. That flash of genius was built on a decade of disciplined thinking. And the people who you look up to, the people who you admire, they are not lucky. They are not special. They are simply masters of the non-glamorous work. They are masters of consistency. They are the iceberg. You only see the beautiful tip, but beneath the surface, there is a massive, unshakable foundation of pure, relentless work that is 100 times bigger than the part you can see. So today, Day 10 is the day you make a sacred vow to yourself. You are not just making a commitment for today. You are making a commitment for life. You are saying, I am a person of consistency. I am a person of discipline. I am a person who builds foundations. I am a person who does the hidden work. I am a person who loves the grind. I am a person who will never, ever, ever, ever stop. That is your new identity. You are not a person who tries to be consistent. You are a consistent person, and the two are worlds apart. The first one is a wish. The second one is a reality. And listen to me. I know some of you are tired. I know some of you are feeling overwhelmed. That's okay. I am not telling you to be perfect. Perfection is a myth that keeps people from starting. The goal is progress, not perfection. And progress, that's just one small step. So maybe today your consistency isn't about working for 4 hours. Maybe today it's about working for 10 minutes. Maybe it's just about opening the laptop and looking at the first page. Maybe it's just about doing one single push-up. The size of the step doesn't matter. The fact that you took it does. This is the power of the non-zero day on a whole new level. It's not just a way to avoid procrastination. It's a way to build a legacy. It's a way to build a life of significance. And it all comes down to your ability to show up day after day. You've already done it for 9 days. You are already a different person than you were 9 days ago. Your mind is already a different battlefield. You already have a taste of what victory feels like. So now the only thing left to do is to keep going. The only thing left to do is to keep showing up. The only thing left to do is to prove to yourself that this is not just a phase, it is a new way of life. The world is full of people who are waiting for the perfect moment. They are waiting for the motivation. They are waiting for the right feeling. And they wait and they wait and they wait and their lives pass them by. Don't be that person. Be the person who creates the moment. Be the person who creates the feeling. Be the person who says, my actions will dictate my feelings, not the other way around. That is the mindset of a champion. That is the mindset of a person who is destined for greatness. That is the mindset of a person who understands the true, radical, life-changing power of consistency. But now, let me ask you to take this even deeper. You have become the guardian of your gate. You are intentional about what you let in. But what happens when something does get in? What happens when a negative comment lands? A stressful email arrives? When your mind tells you to pick up the phone and scroll? This is where the true fight for sovereignty takes place. The world is a constant barrage of stimuli, and our modern minds are trained to be reactive. We see a notification and we click. We hear a criticism and we defend. We feel a moment of boredom and we instantly seek a distraction. This is the ultimate form of being on autopilot. You are not driving the car is driving you. And a life lived on autopilot is a life lived in a reactive, not a creative state. The greatest act of freedom you can ever perform is to insert a single powerful moment between the stimulus and your reaction. I'm talking about the pause. The pause is the microscopic sliver of time where you reclaim your power. It is the moment where you are no longer a victim of your impulses. It is where you choose your response instead of merely reacting. This is not a luxury. It is a fundamental skill for anyone who wants to build a life of purpose and intention. Think about it. A stressful email comes in. Your gut reaction is to fire off an angry reply. But what if you took a single deep breath? What if you waited 5 minutes before you even touched the keyboard? That is the pause. In that tiny moment, you are choosing clarity over chaos. You are choosing peace over impulse. You are choosing to be an architect of your response, not a passive observer of your emotions. Every time you consciously choose the pause, you are laying another brick in the foundation of your self-discipline. This practice is the missing link that ties everything together. Consistency is about doing the work. Subtraction is about removing the drains. But the pause is how you make sure you are doing the right work. It's how you ensure that your actions are aligned with your purpose, not with your latest distraction. When you get the impulse to pick up your phone, the pause is that moment where you stop and ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is this serving my purpose? And in that moment of conscious awareness, you break the chain of a mindless habit. You are not just letting go of the distraction. You are consciously choosing something better. This is the power of intentionality. It's the opposite of autopilot. Intentionality is the conscious decision to act in a way that is congruent with your values and your goals. And you can't be intentional without the pause. The pause gives you the space to ask the most important question of all: what is my next intentional action? Let's go back to the metaphor of the archer. The amateur archer pulls back the bow and lets the arrow fly immediately, driven by a raw impulse. Their shots are wild, inconsistent, and often miss the target completely. But the master archer pulls back the bow and then they pause. They feel the tension. They steady their breath. They align their eye with the target. They connect with their why, the reason they are shooting in the first place. And in that powerful moment of stillness, they release the arrow with a silent, deliberate focus. Their shot is not a reaction. It is an intentional, perfect expression of their will. Your life is the arrow. And if you are not taking the time to pause and aim, you are just blindly firing it into the wind. You are hoping for a result, but you are not creating one. The people who hit their targets, the people who build their dreams, are the people who have mastered the art of the pause. They understand that a moment of stillness is a moment of power. It is a moment where they can reconnect with their deepest purpose and then act from a place of clarity and strength. This is the next level of the work. You have mastered consistency. You have become a master of subtraction. Now you must become a master of intentionality, powered by the pause. This is how you take all the pieces we've talked about and forge them into a life that is not just productive, but deeply meaningful. A life where you are not just surviving, but truly living with purpose. So today I want to give you one final challenge. You know how to be consistent. You know how to let go of distractions. Now I want you to practice the pause. I want you to find one moment in your day where you would normally act on autopilot. It could be before you check a notification. It could be before you reply to a text. It could be before you open a browser tab. And in that moment, I want you to stop, take a deep breath, and in that stillness, ask yourself, is this intentional? And if the answer is no, then I want you to choose a different path. Choose a path that is aligned with the life you are building. Because that tiny, silent, unglamorous choice, that is the single most important action you can take to become the architect of your own destiny. It is the action that will change everything.